Hello and welcome to another episode of Salesforce Help. Today I'm going to tell you about Global Picklists. It is a feature which rolled out in Winter 16 release of Salesforce, but I'm telling it to you right now because some of you still do not know what Global Picklists are or what Global Picklist Value Sets are. So let's begin. Now let us have a look at the definition of global picklists. Global picklists can be used for sharing a single list of values across many custom picklist fields. Yes, global picklists are used to define a particular value set, and from that value set you can have different picklist fields, like different picklist fields can have that same values on them, like independent of on which object they are. To explain it a bit more, let me take an example. Okay, you're storing accounts, leads, contacts, and like data into any of the custom objects, and you want to track that from which industry this particular account is, and you want to track that from which industry this particular lead is, and you want to track that from which industry this particular contact is, and from which industry this particular custom object is. So, if you are storing the information of a particular person, so in that situation, you'll create a different picklist field over here, and this picklist field will have its own values, and the same picklist field you will have to create on leads object as well with the same values, and the same picklist field you have to create on contacts object with the same values, and the same picklist field you have to create on custom object with the same values. But there's a problem in that approach, and what that problem is that whenever you want to change a particular value, or if you want to delete a particular value, in that situation you'll have to in that situation what you'll have to do is you'll have to do it in every object. You cannot just change it at a single place and get it changed all across all the different objects. But with global picklist, you can do that. And let me tell you how. So here is industry picklist value set. It's a global picklist in which the values are financial, agriculture, media, consultancy, and hospitality. These are the different values which I have into this particular global picklist, or global picklist value set. Now what I'll do is I'll create a custom picklist field over here in accounts object, but we'll use global picklist as industry picklist value set. Like doing that, the values will be derived by this picklist. They'll not have their own values. And same I'll do on leads object. In leads object, I'll create a custom picklist field, and in that custom picklist field, I'll use this global picklist again. And the values which will be there in the leads object or the lead records, that picklist field will be the same as of the accounts, and same with contacts and same with the custom object. This is this is why we use global picklist, and this is where it is helpful. And if you delete a particular field, like I have deleted media, then it will be deleted from accounts, leads, contacts, and also from the custom object, which is whose picklist values are derived from this global picklist value set. Whereas it was not possible earlier, because we'll have to if you want to delete media from like all of the picklist fields over here, we'll have to go to accounts and then delete it from the accounts object picklist field, and then from leads, then from contacts, and then from custom objects. Whereas in global picklist we can do that. Hope you have understood that what global picklists are and what they are used for. Now let's see that how we will implement it in our org. Let's go. Now I'm gonna show you that how to create a global picklist or a global picklist value set, and then how to use it into different objects custom picklist field. So just like to create a global picklist value set, I'll simply go to setup like this. And in setup, I'll simply write down global. I cannot find a global picklist. I'll simply write down picklist value sets, and here it is, picklist value sets. I'll click on it, and over here I can define the picklist value set whichever I want. I'll create a picklist value set of the field which I have just taken the example of, and that was industry. So I'll simply click on new. And over here I'll set industry and description, and over here I'll write down the values which I want over here, which I want on those custom picklist fields. Finance, media, hospitality, consultancy, agriculture, real estate, and so on. You can enter as many values as you want over here. All the values will be available on that pick list on the object which will on which you will create that custom picklist field with the global picklist value set. And if you want to sort all these values, and simply click simply check this checkbox, display values as alphabetically, not in the order enter. So all these values will be sorted alphabetically. And if you want to set any of the default value, click on use first as default value and keep the default value on the very first row, and then click on save. Now, if I want to use this global picklist onto account object, or let's say contact object, then in that situation I'll simply go to object manager. Over here I have object manager, and I'll go to contact, and then on fields and relationships, and I'll click on new. I'll create a new field, and the data type will be pick list only. Then next, field label, I want to enter industry. It's not mandatory that you should keep the field label or the field name same as the global picklist value set. You can change it. You can set it as contacts industry also. It's totally up to you. And if you'll select use global picklist value set, then you'll have this option as industry. Yes, like this. And these are disabled because we have already selected this into this global picklist. And if you want to enter any description help text, just enter it. Otherwise, click on next, and then save. And similarly, if you want to add this picklist value set or global picklist into any other object, you want to add it into case. Let's go to case, click on fields and relationships, click on new to create a new field, and then in the picklist, select the picklist checkbox or picklist data type for the field and cases, or you can keep it same also, industry. Go in the global picklist, just select industry and then next, then save. Now let us go to that object, let's create a record of that particular object on which we have used this global picklist, that are contacts and cases. So I'll go on contacts, and I'll click on new, and here you can see contacts industry, and all the values I have entered onto that global picklist. It's the same. And if I'll go on cases and click on new, industry, over here the same values. This is all about global picklist value sets. This is how you will implement global picklists and use it on the objects whichever you want. Hope you have understood. Now let's get back. This isn't all about global picklist value sets. Global picklist value sets are also used where there are multiple administrators in your org, in which some of the people, some of the developers or some of the administrators are creating fields on different objects, whereas there is a master administrator who actually controls the value set. In that situation, the master administrator will create a global picklist, and the administrators or developers who are creating that field will simply use will create a picklist field and use that global picklist value set into that field, so they don't have to worry about any of the values, and they do not actually have the control to edit the values. The values can only be controlled by the master administrator, not by the developers or administrators who are creating that field. And that's all about global picklist value set. Now hit the subscribe button over here, and especially for watching this video on Facebook or LinkedIn, there's a link down in the description or in the comments. Just hit that link, go to the YouTube channel, hit the subscribe button with the bell notification icon also to get weekly videos or related to Salesforce with the Salesforce Hulk. So see you next week. Until then, bye bye, take care.